Good morning and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, November 3rd, 2022. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type should only be undertaken with funds that you can afford to lose. Risk capital only. There is significant risk in this type of trading. All right, and less than a minute to go to market open. YM is in a short that is currently still a get in sync at 9.49. Soybeans is flat. And we'll look at crude a little later. How many times have you seen 9 o'clock still on the screen when we come to market open? Slow action this morning on crude. And the market is open. And that went away from us a little too fast, unfortunately. Soybeans picked up a short that just triggered in on get in sync rules. It's a small, and it just hit money management, looking for a target and stopping out for a break-even trade. On soybeans, still in the short. It went too fast on the YM. YM setting new session lows. And the Russell is at new session lows as well. And the Russell going away, well, let's see. Hasn't hit money, well, okay. Yeah, it did hit trail. It was a big trade. And trailed out for a small loss, but that went too fast to, no, it didn't go too, well, yeah, it did. It hit money management, or hit the trailer back in here. If at worst you've gotten in sync and stopped out just within a few ticks there. The long probably avoidable, spiking through and coming back down. The same true on the next one. And the short, and likely all three of those avoidable. This one's not. That's definitely, that trade is active and short. All right, soybeans long from 14.39 even. And taking some heat. Squeeze zone coming off and allowing us to take that trade. Taking heat. All right, the Russell hitting scalp target 3, trailing at 67.2. And target 4 on the Russell, trailer at 66.3. And the YM getting a long trade here. Plenty of time to get in that, and it looks like it's going to go one and done. And it does. Target 1, 2, 3. Yep, plenty of time to get into that. Probably don't get into it till over here as it starts up. But the trailer now at 934 after going through all 4 targets. Soybeans hitting target 1 and stopping out at 39.25. So we pick up 7 ticks there. And we picked up 4. We picked up 7 on the target. 3 additional positions, pick up 1, so that's 10. We picked up 4, 14 ticks on the day, and 2 trades and done. On soybeans. And the YM stops out at 979 for a one and done session there as well. And the Russell first trade stops out at 66.3. Then we get a long. Now, do we have time to get in it? 2, 3. No. Actually, that is a 9-second bar. Very likely that had a pullback to get you in. I think we hit. It's like we hit target on the nose and came back to stop out on our break even. So 2 wins, and do we have a third winner here? Back and forth movement, but today it's extending far enough. 3, 10-second bar there. Got a good possibility of getting in. 1 second on that one. I'd say that one's got a fair chance. Didn't make target, so we have a break even. And the long 7 seconds. That you ought to be in on that one, I would expect. That one, that's another break even. So we have 2 winners, 2 break evens. We got that one would have been most likely avoidable. Not sure. Wasn't watching it. But we'll take that one as loss number 1. One more trade. All right, crude this morning. Another tough session. That short trade is a little bit too early. Our 5 seconds after we were down here. So I would expect, and 15 seconds before we were right at the entry. So somewhere in this bar, we had start time and it came down to in 5 seconds. So I'm saying that one was not tradable. I was looking at that and I wasn't able to trade it this morning. So then we come up with a long 902.27. At 51, that meanders about. Then we come up to a short stop and reverse at 42. That does not. The stop and reverse one, that one does not trigger in. at 42, stays long, hits target 1, and would have stopped out. That's below, so balance line's at 58. So would have stopped out at 54. Or at the entry at 50. Well, yeah. I probably would have taken 54 trying to get target 2. So we pick up a one and done there. I was thinking that did stop and reverse, but it actually didn't. Good morning, Miles, Trader Man, Pamela, Arizona Bob. That's all that's here this morning. Glad to know everybody is saying hello. And we get a long that looks like it just... Oh, no, it didn't quite get... There again, we've got a wick, big trade. We hit the trailing point, but not break money management, and we take a very small loss on that trade. Yeah, that bar was long and probably a point that we got in. So we take a small loss there, and that is the end of our session. On the Russell, 2 wins, 2 break-evens, 1 full loss possibly, and 1 small loss on that trailer. Okay, crude was 1 and done with stop and reverse adjustment keeping you in the long, which ended up picking up target 1 on a small trailer. Unleaded, trade off the 20 SMA. That's a diamond level trade, but it probably didn't get in until it was to get in sync at 901, right? 901.45 or thereabouts, somewhere between 901.21 and 45. But definitely should be in that trade. It's money management, and so target 1 and target 2, and a very small trailer, but 1 and done. However you wanted to play that, if you were trading the 20 SMA trade. Otherwise, you took a full stop out, 1 stop and reverse that went break even. Then you pick up a second long that was a full loss. I'm sorry, I missed one. You pick up the short that went break even, and a long that short did go break even, so it was not a stop and reverse. Long was a break even. No targets, just money management. But because of the initial full loss, we'd still be trading. And when we take another full loss, and a third full loss. So tough session on unleaded this morning. Unless you traded the SMA, and then it was a 1 and done. Micro NQ, 4 minutes wait after market open. That trade goes too far, so it's a break even. No trade. This one you got to break the bar down. Actually, yeah, you got to break the bar down to see what happened first. I will take that as a loss. It may have been avoidable, depending on how fast it came up. If it touched the entry and pulled back, or what. And in just our second trade, and there's a stop and reverse at 812 even. So I would just take that to 810.75. Take the full stop if you're going to on the long. Make that a stop and reverse at the full stop. And we trigger in to short 2 losses on the micro NQ. And looks like the best movement was right toward the open, slowing down considerably now. Pound Aussie this morning. 8:30 start, right in here. No new trades there. Then we get into this mess. 8 seconds from setup to down here. It should be an avoidable trade. Likely pull back before you could ever get an order in, and then stopped out. So that trade will not count. And we pick up a trade that just misses money management. Comes back to a stop and reverse at 84. Two pip stop and reverse adjustment plus 2 pip key level adjustment. That one goes back the other way. Actually, that one is not gonna. 96 for the entry. Do we get to 98? Yeah, we get to 98 is a major key level and would go to 01. So that stays in the short. And actually it would stop and reverse the long at 03 ultimately. And meander about in the long, take a full stop out and reverse to short, finally hitting a target 1, target 2, target 3, trailer just below target 1 for 2 positions, then switching back to long again. And that's where we are. So you go 1, 2, 3, just the third trade, but probably not likely positive yet. But it's going to have to work a little bit to get there. So currently long and working on that trade. All right, we did take this full the loss and ended up with a nice trade on micro NQ. Target 2 achieved. Slightly larger than normal. Got a little bit of wick on the setup bar. So we pick up 39 points at target 2. And we start the trailer and trail out at 82.75 from the entry at 10.75. So that's 28 and 3/4 points. No, 28, exactly 28 points. on the trailer, 39 on the target. And a nice win after a couple of losses. We'll see where it goes from there. And the YM just missing money management, but still, I need to show where that actually is. Oh, YM is done. What am I looking at? Yeah, we were one and done on the YM this morning. So let's see where crude is now. Almost back up where we traded this morning. And the MNQ in a long trade, it looks like. 85.0, 1, 3, 5 seconds. I think that one probably came back. I was kind of looking at it. I think it probably would likely come back before we could get in, but you'd have to break down this bar here to see if you actually had a chance to get in it or not. But if it hits the entry now, we definitely are in. $10 a.m. crude session coming up in a little under 10 minutes. I'll mark that one up, but that's not likely to be the trade we're going to end up in on crude. And headed downward again. If you traded that, that would be loss number 3 and in the session. If we avoided it, the short is a stop. Well, the short would be, if not traded, you take the short as is. So we've got, and you got 5 seconds on the first bar, another 5 on the second, another 6 on the third bar. That one might have a pullback that you could have gotten into that, meandering kind of down there. So we'll see if we can get in this, or see how it goes on the downside. The other 2 market indices are pointing downward. Now Russell starting to, and the YM both pulling back higher slightly. Have to see where this one goes. And crude may be making a liar out of me after all. It's just meandering about around the entry. 7 minutes to go. The Russell pushing lower, setting new session lows. YM and the MNQ both at session lows. So this bodes well for the trade. There's break even money management. Stop comes to 63.75. And our pound Aussie trade, you need to get, it's like 73 for money management. Yeah, we entered at 61, so our money management is at 73. Spreads this morning are running around three pips. I don't know that I'd take an 8 pip or a 9 pip, an 8 pip target. I think I would push that position up to target 2. Even though I don't know. Maybe you take that little bit of profit and hope for a break-even trade because the 50 is right there. I don't think it actually got, and it just did hit target 1. Nothing new on the MNQ, still in the short. We haven't hit 73 either. Gotten as high as 72.2. If you're trading target 1, if you're going to take target 1 in that case, I would have my stop at 62 now. If you're waiting for it, stop still a full stop on. And the MNQ getting close to target 2. Crude now in a long trade that hasn't hit money management yet. And we are just over 3 minutes to our session start. Still 63.75 for the MNQ stop. It's going to stay there till we get target 2 or a bit beyond target 2. Slow motion. All right, if you traded target 1 on the pound Aussie, you did stop out on the rest of the position. If you didn't, as I wouldn't have, we got within 1 tick, and there is money management. So stop definitely comes to 62 now. And we will look for target at 79. Target 2 achieved on the micro NQ. 1 minute to go. And that's a 200 EMA trade. I would love to get into that. Slow movement this morning, but there is the session open, I believe. And things starting to move again at the 10 o'clock hour. Getting into the short. I actually like the structure of this trade. And it went up, tested the 50 again, and is pulling back. And trying to come down through now. Target 1 starting to trail at 16. And target 2, or almost. Yep, it got target 2. So, one and done if you use that 200 EMA trade. 49 ticks. And the MNQ did get into trail mode. One trailer showing 43.25, and that's where it stopped out. And then we take a third loss, so that ends the session on the MNQ. Questions or comments this morning? Nasty price action. And we stopped. We did not get target 2 on the pound Aussie trade. Stopped out at, did it get up to 63? 64. Got up to 64. So we picked up 3 pips on all 4 positions. So we pick up 12 pips there. Not a good morning. After all kinds of nastiness. Now that pretty much does it for all the charts I've got up here. Small group this morning. Remember to fall back Sunday. Return to standard time in the U.S. for those places that are using daylight savings. All right, folks. Unless anybody has anything new, I believe I'm going to call it a week. We'll see a few of you. Pamela, probably. We'll see you in the CEO Trader Mastermind this morning. You're quite welcome, Trader Man. You have a good day. Have a good day tomorrow and a good weekend. And we'll be back unless I have not heard anything from Troy yet. And unless he's back in town, we'll be back on the regular Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday sessions next week. Just a little bit with a little bit more light. So we'll see everybody next week. Have a good one. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Miles. And a good week to all.